Alright, buddies. The X-Files, Storyscape, Ep.03. It's time for Trial by Ice, Part 3. The body count rises as Dexler and Fulton deduce that a paranormal killer is on the loose. The evidence points to an unsolved case handled by Mulder and Scully years prior. There we go. So you probably want to skip ahead, but the internet seems fast today. I'm missing out on a triple chocolate brownie truffle for this. It's too late for my family. He tells me that as if it isn't obvious from their bloodied, contorted bodies, their collapsed skulls. I don't even recognize my little sister. I'm all that's left of the Fultons. Just me, Aaron. But if my varsity football coach gets his way, I won't be here for long. Coach, don't! Out late on a school night, why am I not surprised? You're out being an undisciplined idiot when you should have been home, applying yourself to your homework, to the cohesion of your family. Coach Willoughby is disappointed in me, to say the least. Keeping me cornered, dangling a wooden bat stained with bits of my family, he's disappointed in me. If you were here, you could have tried to protect them. If you had your priorities straight, they won't even be dead right now. Shout for help, try to run, or beg for mercy. Something causes this guy to think people are crazy in the future, and he profiles people. So he's probably just going to make assumptions about this guy being crazy. Try to run. I take off like a shot along the wall to my right, hoping to get around Coach. He's faster than he looks, and strong. He swats me with the back of a meaty fist, and I go down. Ugh. I know I taught you to juke, Fulton, but no, you can't even do that. You're as bad as the other boys. The other boys, I realized instantly who he means. Matt Daly and LaShawn Cross were murdered recently, along with their entire families. They were classmates of mine, teammates. I slowly get back up. Coach is agitated now. Somehow I'm to blame. What? Were you out with your girl? Thought you two broke up? You were supposed to be home. Why are you doing this? You're never gonna make varsity. You're not good enough. You're an embarrassment. When you're an embarrassment, you live your life in pain. When you're not good enough, your family lives in shame. He's dejected. Coach isn't talking about me or my family. I do everything I can not to cry out fear so that I can somehow use his pain. Show you understand him, try to reason with him, or goad him into clumsy aggression. Look at those eyes. He's thinking about something. I can try to show you understand. I try to guess what he means to take a leap into the dark. But you tried your best, Coach. I'm sure you did. Your parents had no right to be ashamed of you. I know that. You think I don't know that? Literally spitting mad. For a second, I'm sure he's going to take an angry swing, but then he gets morose. You don't know. I'm sparing you decades of being a disappointment. That's for me to deal with, Coach. Not you. Let me deal with it. I can hear the shaking in my own voice. I don't think there's any getting through to him. No, that's not how it works. For all the pain to go, you all go. Coach points the end of the bat at my face. I close my eyes not to see, breathe through my mouth not to smell. He's out of his mind. He's definitely going to kill me if I don't get away. The door practically explodes open. Coach spins around. What? FBI, drop your weapon. Coach stands between me and agents with guns drawn. He faces them, his bat hanging at his side. It's over, Willoughby. Put the bat down. I see Coach's heels shift. The end of the bat touches the carpet as he resets his grip. He seems to have forgotten all about me. Rest the bat from him or let it play out? Hey. Let it play out. He's outnumbered, and they all have guns, yet somehow I don't feel safe. I freeze right where I am. It's real simple. Drop it or we shoot. I'm not done yet. With that, Coach turns back with lightning speed, cocking the bat, his eyes wide and wild. The room lights up, gunshots assault my ears. Coach comes crashing into me. As I'm pushing Coach away, I feel his last shuddering breaths. A hand grabs me by the arm and helps me stand. I'm suddenly woozy, doing everything I can not to throw up. The man puts a hand under my chin and turns my face so I face him. Aaron, you're safe now. You know me? Or you were too late? Or what about Coach? Why didn't you get here sooner? He opens his mouth, but there's no answer, just sad eyes. He escorts me outside, telling me his name is Pierce, and that I'm going to get looked over by a medic. And all I can think is how my voice just sounded. Hoarse and small, distant, not mine. I think, whose voice was that? Who is that happening to? Where did I go? Newspaper headlines follow. Family slayings over. Feds profiled Coach killer. A city slowly recovers. Lone survivor enters foster care. Aaron Fulton, the minor identified as sole survivor of the third batch of murders that targeted whole families, the article begins. It's written to evoke maximum sympathy, shaken by the tragic slayings of Aaron's immediate family. No relatives willing or able to take young Aaron. Against news reporters' convention, they use a minor's name. For intimacy, they use the first name as often as possible. They write about therapists and recovery and court proceedings and an uncertain future like they get it. They don't get it though. Only you do. Your first night at the foster home in a room made to look like yours, you. Go catatonic, barricade the room, or destroy it all. Sitting on the bed, not thinking or moving until paramedics arrive the next day, you're there, but numb. It's never that severe again, but sometimes you realize that you've been zoning out for minutes at a time. The fosters don't confront you about it. Gregory Pierce, who's not an FBI agent, but a criminal consultant, comes by, sometimes to check on you. He's concerned about your future. He does most of the talking. One day, though, he expresses regret for not saving your family, and you tell him. It's not his fault but Coach's, or you're the one to blame, or he should feel bad. Coach Willoughby was a killer. There's nothing to be sorry for. Pierce is grateful for that, but you can tell that it still weighs on him. Pierce keeps up with the regular visits. As you finish your homeschooling, he becomes the only person you're close to. He cultivates your desire to bring serial killers like Coach to justice. Once you're an adult, he offers you a paid internship at his firm. The Pierce Institute opens your eyes to the many disciplines of criminal consulting and something more. The consultants who work for Pierce accept that paranormal stuff exists. Psychics, aliens, numerology, astrology, and things they can't even explain. You think you've been recruited into a cult or something. Pierce insists you keep an open mind. And then you're drawn to a case. About lights in the sky, involving a miraculous girl, about an odd creature. Let's see. Let's try involving a miraculous girl. You witness Pierce consulting John Doggett interviewing a child who fluently speaks over a dozen languages. She claims to have been reincarnated over thousands of years. Your web searches match real people to details of her former lives. You can only assume she has an eidetic memory and internet access. But then some things she said you only find in obscure books and records, unavailable to the public. Everyone is at a loss to explain it. When you participate in a second interview, the girl claims to have forgotten all of her vast knowledge. The parents seem intimidated. But not by you, or Doggett. After that, her parents deny you and Doggett further access. A month later, you learn they've moved to Iran, where the girl claimed to have once been Macedonian royalty. In case after case, you're confronted with implausible scenarios that challenge what you know to be true. You come to accept it. It's not long after that strange encounter that your inheritance becomes available, including a storage locker full of your family's things. You have enough to buy a modest house in a quaint neighborhood. You fill it with your furniture your parents picked out before you were born. You thank the Fosters, promise to keep in touch, and move out. After you add some personal touches, the new place feels like home. When Pierce feels you're ready, he encourages you to enroll in the FBI Academy, as if you weren't already itching to. Over 20 weeks, you train the best you can. You excel like crazy in behavioral sciences, particularly in developing profiles, but you find you're also good at surveillance, defendant combat, or tactical driving. Let's see, he's not good at combat, and don't need him for surveillance, tactical driving. You hit the obstacle course at high speed to learn offensive and defensive driving tactics. Now you know how to give chase or evade a tail while also keeping the safety of others in mind. It's a lot of fun too. As for the rest of it, wow, you really struggle. You're one of the worst shots in the range. You can't believe your luck when you actually pass the pistol qualification. And you can't focus in most of your classes. You barely graduate altogether. You think about how Pierce used to be an assistant director and his friends at the academy. You're a wonder if you have a guardian angel. But even if Pierce did help you get your badge, he isn't any help in finding a foothold in behavioral sciences, or most anywhere else. But you do score an interview with A.D. Walter Skinner, so you book the earliest appointment at FBI headquarters. Skinner looks like he's seen everything. Pierce and Doggett have that look, but Skinner's beyond either of them. Like he's over it all. He seems like a veteran servant type, with a little patience for nonsense. Probably the perfect person to head the X-Files unit. Aaron, let me be upfront with you. I've looked at your academy scores. I'm not at all impressed. I'm good at this, or then why see me? Or I hear you. If that's the case, sir, I'm surprised you agreed to meet me at all. If I'm sure you're smart enough to know that I'm doing this as a favor. I forgot this guy's voice. I'm sorry if it's different from the last video. Gregory Pierce speaks of you with great admiration. In his words, you are naturally gifted, uniquely insightful, and intensely dedicated. That's nice of him to say. Pierce is no longer with the Bureau. He has no authority over Skinner. Just how hard did Pierce have to sell Skinner on giving you a shot? You can't help but wonder. How did that conversation go down? What's the relationship between Pierce and Skinner like? What's their history? You can play a Skinner to see what really happened, ask Skinner about it, or let the thought fade. I mean, let's just be honest. I know you said this was a favor, but what made you say yes to it? I've known Pierce as long as I've been in the Bureau. By the time I became an assistant director, he was already in charge of behavioral sciences. Was he sort of a mentor to you, or... He was helpful, where you might find pissing contests between units. He was open to sharing resources when it made sense. You get the feeling Skinner only has so much he's willing to share. You could keep fishing, but you also need this assignment, so you nod understandingly, and let him move on. Seems to me you've had a lot of time with the Pierce Institute. I'd imagine you've come across X-Files they've consulted on. I have. I've done background research, observed interviews, profiled suspects, assessed reports from Scully, Mulder, and others who've worked for you. And what was your general assessment of these reports, Agent Fulton? What did you make of them? Skinner's inquiring about the quality of Scully and Mulder's reports, but he's really asking about their approach to the paranormal. Too many wild Mulder theories, or they complement each other, or Scully's too analytical. Seems to me you need different points of view, especially in dealing with these kinds of cases. That's what I see in their documentation. So if I were to pair you with someone with a different set of ideas and methods, you'd welcome it? Try to be open, but I won't lie, I do feel strongly about my own methods. They've served me well with Pierce. Skinner takes in what you've said. With someone like him, it's hard to tell if the interview's going well. What you do know is that if this doesn't work out, you'll be on desk duty for a long time, your head full of nothing but your own thoughts. Obviously, you understand what the X-Files are and what that job is. That's a plus. You're well versed in the unexplained, which frankly is not a plus in my book. You You seem direct for the most part, and you come well recommended. But you need to understand 2 things. 1, until I set you up with a partner, you're on clerical duty. If I catch so much a whiff of you reaching out to help on a case, there will be hell to pay. And 2, you do not go to Pierce when, and I do mean when, you don't get your way. Chain of command, Agent Fulton. Absolutely. You're in charge. Make it 3 things. I know about your past, and I know your heart was set on behavioral sciences. The X-Files are not your stepping stone. They are not a means to an end. They are your job. In fact, the X-Files will most likely make you unpopular around here. When will I partner up? Or you won't regret this. Or not great. How soon before you find me a partner for if you were to guess? It'll either be very soon or not even remotely soon. Skinner tells you you're dismissed, and that's it. You're in. You spend a couple of weeks correcting files and connecting digital evidence scans to their proper cases before you get the call. He's brought in an agent, another rookie, he tells you. Meet her in Philadelphia for your first case, he says. It takes longer to drive than to use any other mode of transport, but that's your stubborn preference. Heading up I-95, you feel free, alive, and here Skinner made the X-Files sound like some sort of purgatory. This is what hell looks like. You think Agent Dexler might be right. More victims of explosive gelation, pieces of them strewn about the swampy carpet. An entire family. This is the work of the man you lost at the bowling alley, Martin Sneberg Jr. While you were getting stitches in your sliced arm, Dexler led the search for Sneberg, starting with his apartment. But hadn't even set foot in the place when she got the call about this new crime scene and shifted gears. Outside, an officer handed you a pair of shoe covers. It's like a marsh in there, except, she said. Now as you watch CSI's mark around the body, a few bloody blankets, your temperature rises. The dad was a member of some bowling league as well as Sneberg's other victims. His ball was missing, like the others. Sneberg has to pay, or I let Sneberg escape. I'm fine, by the way. No way does Sneberg walk away from this without consequences. Now that we know who he is, we'll find him. Dexler studies the shredded pieces of clothing and flesh, trying to make sense of them. This would seem like an escalation, wouldn't it? From our 3 single murders to a family of 4. Before judging from the fact that the ice has melted, this happened several days before Tim Quilling was killed. There could be more like this, or Sneberg made an exception for a reason, or maybe this one was a mistake. If we found this one out of order, it's entirely possible there are others we don't know about yet. Well, that's a chilling thought. Dexler closes her eyes, scolds herself. Wasn't intentional that time. Poor choice of words. Something's nagging at you. You're wondering how long it would take a massive block of ice to melt. How could a family go missing for a week or longer without someone knowing? Relatives, employers, school? Their bags were packed, maybe going on vacation. Of course, no one would expect to be hearing from them. Seems like Sneberg knew they'd be leaving. Oh, lucky coincidence, lucky for him, I mean. Your phone goes off. Video call from an account called Spooky FM. You think you know who this is. Hi, this is Special Agent Fox Mulder. I take it you're Agent Fulton. How did you find me? Or it's a pleasure. Or what can I do for you? That's me. Is there something you need? No, but I thought you and your partner might want a heads up. Skinner's been keeping us in the loop on your first case. He brought the name Martin Sneberg Jr. to my attention. You've heard of him? We had a case back in the day, still unsolved. Martin Sneberg of Philadelphia, found dead inside a living room that felt like a meat locker. His wife Debbie had suffered brain damage from the cold as well. She was found cradled in the arms of her crying son. Martin Jr. We could never prove that what caused the cold that killed Martin Sr. and incapacitated Debbie, but I had a theory. Martin Jr. was dying of late-stage cancer when his parents allowed a doctor of questionable credentials to try an untested cure on him. He put young Martin's body through serious hell, aggressive radiation exposure followed by intense cryotherapy. It should have killed him. but it cured him instead. Full recovery, but it cost the Snedbergs everything they had. Martin Sr. started to blame his son for their financial situation. Martin Jr. had untreated injuries when we found him. He was abused? I maintained that Martin Jr. had had enough, lashing out in self-defense with an extraordinary ability he didn't know his cure had given him. About his mother, or what did the doctor say? Or the boy had to have mutations. Did his doctor corroborate any of this? Unfortunately, once the boy was cured, the doctor hit the road. He disappeared without a trace. It sounds to me like Martin's gotten more adept with his ability over time, but here's what I don't get, Agent Fulton. That boy I met, if he could take it back, I think he would have. Hard to believe he's become a killer, much less a serial killer. But something must have happened to Martin Snedberg Jr. since then, a life event that had changed him, made him homicidal. Tell him it doesn't make sense, or show gratitude, or assure him you can solve it. I appreciate you filling us in. Did you have anything else? That's everything I can recall. You'll find the rest in the case file. Good luck. Say hi to Jess for me. You know Special Agent Mulder? We've met, yeah. What Mulder said sounds about right to me. He was already traumatized. He had to feel different, like an outcast. But that's not enough to explain Snedberg, is it? He only attacked you outside the bowling alley to escape. He didn't stay to finish the job. You know that if you could talk to him, you'd be able to make sense of what he's going through. You could always let him into your head. You've done it before. It's why you were so good with profiling at the Pierce Institute. Not that it's ever fun. It tires you out, and sometimes gives you migraines, but it could give you the edge you need to stop him. Invite Snedberg into your head. You close your eyes. You focus. From behind your eyelids, the room becomes bright white, then fades to what it was before. What am I doing back here? You open your eyes and he's there. Not the man as he is, but the man as you know him. Hi, Martin. I'm sure you remember me. I was hoping we could talk. You want to know what happened here? I do. Or, not what. Why? Or, you're no killer. Who were these people to you? Why did they deserve to die? Deserve? What makes you think they deserve? What makes you think deserve has anything to do with it? I'm asking you, Martin. I mean, your parents didn't deserve to die, right? Your sister? Stop it. We're not talking about them. Why not? I can see them. And I see, Coach. Let's try something else. I've got all day. Go ahead. Give it your best. Why these boulders? Well, let's talk bowling balls. Tell me about your mom. How do you feel now about your mother? What you did? Every day I wake up and remember and it hurts all over again. I never meant to hurt her, Aaron. I know you didn't. But you meant to hurt your father. And you meant to hurt this family. No, I would never. I messed up. I didn't think about the family. You thought they'd be better off dead than in mourning? Or you were so jealous of what he... No! Didn't you see the blankets? What do you think they were for? Martin points to one of the wet, bloody blankets washed up against the walls. You covered them. You regretted their deaths. They were an accident. They were. Hello? You're losing him. Just as he was starting to coalesce and make sense, you've got time for one more. Make it count. Where are you now? Or who's next? Or what will make you stop? When this is over, Martin, what will it take for you to call it quits? I killed my friend. Then you sent me on the run. It's a lot to take. What if I finally find the courage to stop myself? Hello? Fulton? What is it? You just kind of spaced out there. Oh, yeah. Do that. I notice. They're bringing the evidence down to headquarters overnight. I'm taking the train back for an early start. Dexter heads out. You tell an officer to have Philly PD check hospitals and morgues for recent suicides. You spend another half an hour looking around, but Dexter's covered everything. There's nothing else here that stands out, so you drive home. Seeing a dead family means you don't sleep. Your girlfriend Stacy's out cold on your bed after a night tending bar. So you sit on the sofa in silent darkness. Coach Willoughby wants to pay a visit to your thoughts, but you don't let him. He doesn't get a say in this. The next morning you learn that no evidence was found in Sneberg's apartment, not even the missing balls. Your FBI colleagues take pictures of his place and brought you his laptop. Philly PD left you a message. They have yet to find any bodies matching Sneberg's description, but they'll keep on top of it. He's out there, and you have no leads. It's not even 7 yet, and already you and Dexler are both deflated. So we can look forward to returning to Philly to interview everyone again. This time I'm asking about Sneberg. I know it's the job, but oof. Make light of it. Share her frustrations, or begrudge her complaining. I was hoping for more too, if nothing concrete. At least something to lead us to Sneberg. I know it's also the job, but I hardly want to think about what he's up to right now. Well, hopefully he's writing a manifesto or print screening a map to a secret hideout. You could be going through Sneberg's laptop right now, or you could pore over the photos and video coverage of Sneberg's apartment. Choose the laptop, take photo duty, or let Dexler pick. You want to search through his computer or go over the coverage? I worked InfoSec in the Marines, so I'll take the laptop. Coverage it is, then. With Dexler digging into Sneberg's laptop, you open the network folder containing the digital coverage files, Dexler size. His desktop's wallpaper is an old picture of Sneberg with his mom. Is she even alive still? What do we know there? She's a ward of the state, catatonic in an institution west of Philly. Sneberg probably won't visit her now that we're onto him. Too bad. You focus on the photos. The first thing you notice is how spare the place is. No art in the walls or pictures on the fridge. No knickknacks. It's grungy. Sneberg's lived here a long time without cleaning. Probably never had company. And then there's the floor. Thick, pink sheets of foam insulation cover almost every inch of carpet and tile. In the bedroom, the walls and ceilings are covered too, and in the middle of the room, a mattress with a foot of foam board underneath. He must not have had full control when he sleeps. He wants to make sure none of his neighbors know what he can do. Fulton, I've got something, a hidden text file. You get up and look over Dexter's shoulder. What you see takes your breath away. 10 names. 4 of them are our victims, and then there's instructions. Someone's blackmailing him into killing for them. The file indicates that the anonymous blackmailer hacked in Sneberg's computer. The blackmailer ordered him to kill these people, or get outed as your father's killer and a freak. Furthermore, Sneberg is to steal the victims' bowling balls and leave them in a dumpster in North Philly. It seems that he's been complying. You were right about Sneberg not fitting into the profile. As he sees it, he's only killing to survive. Gripe about being tricked, voice your frustration, worry about the blackmailer. How does this person know about Sneberg, and why do they want these bowlers dead? One thing at a time. Now we know how to find Sneberg, that's where we focus. If he's desperate enough to not have his secrets revealed, he's going to go after the rest of this list. You text the list to Philadelphia PD. By the time you're in town, they've found 2 more bodies. The other 4 targets are still alive. You have the police to keep watching all of them, as well as an empty bowling ball dumpster. Dexler maps the 6 victims, finding they all live close to public transport. Her approach would never have occurred to you. You each have your own strengths for sure, that's a good thing. Dexler points out the home of the likely next victim. According to her map, you decide to stake it out. Find an alleyway across the street to park the rental. There's a nearby diner where the 2 of you alternate quick bathroom breaks. You spend a fair amount of time comparing your stints in the academy. Since you graduated ahead of Dexter, you had no idea she was a star pupil. She could have gotten assigned wherever she wanted. You don't tell her you think she squandered her chance. You don't tell her you're jealous. The commuters come home, night falls, and things get quiet for a while, both on the streets and in the car. I can't stop thinking about that argument that Sneberg had with Tim Quilling. That Jimmer guy said Sneberg and Quilling were best friends. They were probably each other's only friend. Sympathize with Quilling, or express your grim concern. Sympathize with Sneberg. If that's how far Sneberg is willing to go to save his own skin, there's no one he won't kill to survive. With a crease in her brow, Dexter considers your words. Have you ever shot anyone? No. You? There was one. Svel! She's distant, haunted. Now isn't the time to press her about it. you realize it's a good idea to change the subject. Maybe now's a good time to talk about the blackmailer. It's got to be another boiler, right? Or another employee at one of the lanes? Someone whose life intersects with these people. I mean, that's what makes sense to me. I think my original profile was on point, but these are new facets to it. We know he's a hacker. He's observant and cunning, and a sadist. You catch Dexler's head turning sharply. It's him across the street. Snedberg, nervous and plain as day. He's going around to the target's back door as you quietly exit the car. You both creep across the street, draw your sidearms, and cautiously head into the narrow gap between the two homes. And you get a chill, a deep chill, like a damp, windy winter's night. Even your gun is cold. Behind you, Dexler strains to speak. Fulton, I can barely move. You feel it too, and you know exactly why before Martin Snedberg Jr. emerges from the dark passage. You can taste frost. Snedberg's afraid the way a cornered feral might be. I can't let you take me in. I won't. Oh my god, we're friendly. Jess Dexler and Aaron Fulton. And that is the X-Files from Storyscape, episode 3. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that reading. Like, share, subscribe. And then I guess I'll catch you in the next video. Every Wednesday,